desde Washington a nuestro senador, al senador Rick Scott, y voy a hablar con él acerca de varias cosas que están pasando. Así que usted, por favor, no se olvide compartir esto, porque ya en menos de 30 segundos vamos a estar con nuestro senador. Así que muy importante, ustedes que nos están viendo también en Puerto Rico o donde quiera, por favor, quédense ahí, porque voy a subir ahora a nuestro senador Rick Scott directamente desde Washington. Good morning, Senator Scott.
Es un placer estar en su programa. Felicidades por su éxito.
Gracias, senador. Y pues en esta mañana queremos hablar de varias cosas. Yo sé que su tiempo es muy valiosa, pero hay dos cosas, y le estoy diciendo al senador, I'm just mentioning that we want to talk about two things with you this morning. One that is looming, one that is pressuring, algo que está viniendo ya, es la recesión. For a year or over a year, we've heard that the inflation was transitional, everything was going to be fine, not to worry about this. And every time, last month we heard, oh, this isn't going to happen. Now, Thursday, or the day after tomorrow, numbers are going to come out. And we want to know your opinion and how this is going to affect. Queremos saber tu opinión y cómo esto va a afectar especialmente a la familia en el corredor de la I-4, aquí en Kissimmee, Orlando. ¿Cuál es tu opinión? What do you see coming, Senator?
Well, la economía es muy importante para las familias de nuestro estado. Es muy importante para todas las familias. La inflación es terrible para las familias. Los precios de la gasolina, los alimentos, las casas, todo está subiendo. Si el presidente Biden no tiene un plan para parar la inflación, el presupuesto es terrible para la inflación. Si los demócratas y presidente Biden gastar, es la el resultado es inflación. So Biden's spending causes inflation. It's real simple. We got to balance our budget. He doesn't have a plan to do it. It sounds like we're gonna be in a recession when we see the numbers for the second quarter. As you know, we had negative first quarter. Looks like we're gonna have negative second quarter. So now that's a recession. Now Joe Biden wants to change the definition.
Y lo que dice el senador es que el presidente Biden, su administración, sigue gastando y gastando y gastando sin ningún plan de cómo vamos a parar esta recesión. Y por eso es que nosotros tenemos que ver exactamente lo que va a pasar, porque ahora la segunda parte de esto es que este periodo de 3 meses, de nuevo, todo va a bajar. Question that I have for you, because you keep talking about their idea of spending. We know that the interest rates keep going up. When do we put control to all this? ¿Cuándo vamos a poder controlar todo esto? Because it just seems like it's getting worse for the consumer, those who want to buy homes, interest rates, credit cards. People are using their credit cards, Senator Scott, to make ends meet. What does that mean? ¿Qué va a pasar con esto?
Well, everything is tied to wasteful government spending. Wasteful government spending causes inflation. Now, the Federal Reserve is trying to figure out if they can stop inflation without government stopping spending. I think it's very difficult to do that. So we've seen an increase in interest rates, which cause your credit card interest to go up. If you're going to go buy a house, your mortgage rates are going up. It's going to cause a downturn in home prices. But it always goes back to wasting money. I think what the Federal Reserve ought to be doing is focus on their balance sheet. They've dramatically increased their balance sheet. It's over $9 trillion now. So I think, but the biggest thing is the federal government, the Democrats have to stop spending your money. I mean, we can't pay for this.
Lo que está diciendo el senador es que estamos siguiendo gastando y gastando dinero. El dinero de ustedes, de los que pagan impuestos, obviamente, que esto está afectando. And when you say, Senator, about this waste of money, a lot of people, they have to live by what they can live on. I mean, they have 2 jobs. They have to balance a budget. They have to pay their mortgage. They have to pay their medicine, especially our seniors, Senator. Our seniors, we're seeing an influx, growth of seniors being homeless here in Osceola County. It isn't going up. Things are happening, but they keep on spending. And this is affecting more to me. I see a lot of the middle to low class folks who are working, small business owners. What can we do to stop this? Is there anything? ¿Hay algo que podemos hacer para parar esto?
Well, what we're seeing is exactly what you said. We're seeing families that can't fill up the gas tank and put food on the table. That's what my mom went through. As you all know, I was born to a single mom. We lived in public housing. And when she dealt with inflation, she really struggled. And that's going on all across Florida. People are going to food banks. They've never gone to a food bank before. We got retirees having to go back to work. We have people that can't afford the rent. So what our government's got to do is stop the inflation so people can afford to live. And so the way you do it is you balance a budget. I did it for 8 years as governor of Florida. We balance a budget. We cut taxes, cut fees. The federal government's got to make government smaller. They've got to make taxes lower, fees lower, less regulation. We'll get more competition. And as we get more competition, prices will come down.
So todo esto lo que dice el senador es hay que balancear. Usted que tiene un presupuesto en su casa y yo sé que se le ha hecho más difícil todavía poder balancear, de tomar las decisiones, pero lo que él dice es que hay que balancear. So what I'm saying is that we have to balance the budget. We have to work out something in DC to where, the focus has been more on social issues, abortion. It's unbelievable the focus and the priorities that this administration has done. And they're forgetting about us, forgetting about the people that every day get up to work and do what they have to do. What do you think about that? I mean, the priorities need to change.
Absolutely. And by the way, Social Security, look at all the reports. Social Security goes bankrupt in about 12 years. Then Democrats don't want to do anything about it, don't want to fix anything. Medicare goes bankrupt. The trust fund for hospitalization goes bankrupt in 4 years. Democrats don't want to do anything about it. Why don't they care about people? It seems like the Democrats don't care about poor families or people that are struggling because they just want to spend your money. So we're going to have to elect people that really care about this and start solving problems like I did when I was governor. I solved problems. Reduce taxes, reduce fees, make it easier for people. Don't make it more expensive for people.
Exactly. I have one more question for you that is off the subject of inflation, because that's a big one. But recently a report came out, un reportaje salió acerca de Nancy Pelosi y una visita a Taiwan. There's a visit she has projected for Taiwan. China has come back and kicked back some information that is kind of worrisome to us. And I just want to take your opinion on, should Nancy Pelosi do this trip? We're hearing so much about the economy, what's happening. Can China do something that can really affect the global market, including our market that's already underwater with everything that's happened? China seems to have the upper hand in this situation. Maybe I'm looking at it differently, but what do you see with this possible trip to Taiwan?
I just went to Taiwan about 3 weeks ago. China was furious. They believe America should retreat from supporting Taiwan and Japan and South Korea and other allies in that region. They want to completely dominate that region of the world while they get ready to dominate us. So what we've got to all do is we've got to take trips like that. We've got to tell Taiwan and Japan and South Korea we're going to be there to support you. Now they got to do their part also. But here's what Americans can do. Stop buying any product made in communist China. They're not our friend. They've decided to be our enemy. They're clearly our adversary. How many things are we buying from Russia right now? We're not, because we know that they don't support what we believe in. China doesn't either. So stop buying products from communist China, and they won't have the resources to be able to be a bully around the world.
So lo que dice el senador es lo que podemos hacer es parar de comprar cosas de China, que yo sé que es difícil porque casi todo lo que uno ve es de China, pero lo que él dice es parar de comprar y eso nos ayudaría a nosotros, pero no podemos dejar que China domine. So what I was just sharing is that, you're saying we need to stop buying products from China, which we see a lot of them in a lot of places, especially here in Central Florida, in some, even in theme parks. We see a lot of this going on where we need to focus on countries that are really friends and allies to the United States. And we need to, I believe, probably build more in the United States, right? Made in USA, to be able to grow that. So again, Senator Scott, we appreciate you so much. Los hispanos te aprecian. We thank you so much, especially the Puerto Rican community, the Venezuelan community, of all the work that you're doing. And again, thank you for sharing this time, and I'm sure we'll be talking soon again.
Felicidades por su día.
Muchas gracias, senador.